CJRB. I haven't been doing a lot of CJRB this year. And I don't know why, and I guess I need to kind of make mental note to kind of look at CJRB a little closer and figure out what was it particularly that I just wasn't looking, or I just didn't find anything I was that interested in, or what. But this one I saw on White Mountain, and I'll scroll through White Mountain because they have like BOGO deals and closeouts and returns. Have you seen that? Like newly arrived, coming soon, but just other kinds of like, so-and-so's 25% off and blah, 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 and this is that. So I'll look through, scavenge through, but I saw this, the Pyrite, which is the 1925, right? Yeah, I mean, it's the J1925 and then DBU. But this was an exclusive, which was an exclusive to White Mountain Knives, the Pyrite. And very 59 bucks. It's not a very big knife, but it's a butt lock, which is attractive to me. Plus, not only is it fidget friendly, but, ambidextrous thumb studs, and look at them. Yeah, I mean, and the G10. So this was something you couldn't get on, in other iterations. And I think the Pyrite's now out. Maybe it was a Blade HQ or Smoky Mountain for like a purple thing with a black blade, and it was maybe a upscale, like 20 CV. I can't remember, so you might want to look around if you're only into the super steels. But this one's their proprietary, AR RPM 9, which is a powder metallurgy steel, right? And it's like a equivalent to 9CR18, only it's a powder metallurgy, okay? Which is great, corrosion resistance, obviously, and a lot of chromium in there, etc. So, I mean, and, I'm getting mixed review. There's always a naysayer, like, it didn't hold an edge that well, whatever. But, I mean, mostly I've heard good things about it, and it's performed for me. So I have no complaints, although I'll sit there and throw things on a strop and bring them back. So I'm not really taking it to butter knife, and I'm not really noticing how much cutting I'm getting out of the blade per se. But yeah, this one's reasonably sharp out of the box. Okay, it's not scary, but it's solid. It's a solid, good factory edge. But this is light. It's not too small, not too big, thin, but fidget friendly. And what got me was this, the design. I mean, look at it. That design is what is it? It's something, right? Hey, you've seen this before, right? Has it been like a Ferrum Forge versus Laconico and had a baby or something? Something simple like Ray does, but then again, kind of just that smooth line where Ferrum Forge has done things like the Gent and other things. You know what I'm saying? And I can't capture it. Like, what am I thinking of when I look at this knife? But it is beautiful design, isn't it? Because it's so simple, it flows. It's really not bad. And it's not that tiny, so it's not like a mini knife. So it's longer than a 3-inch blade. You could argue 3 1/4. Up here it's 3 1/8, but it's not 3, okay? And then it's over 7, right? 7 3/8. 18.5 centimeters. So it's not that tiny either, but it's not 7.5, but it's not a 3 and a 7. You know what I'm saying? So it's decent. I mean, what have we got over here? Like the Kaiser original, okay? It's a bigger knife, okay? It's a bigger knife. Let me see about the hiccup. I got the hiccup over here too for some reason. closer, but still a little bit bigger than the Hiccup. So you know, and those are both button locks too, aren't they? We're going button lock crazy out here. But really, the operation of this, and I don't know if I just got a good one or what, but it is, I'm not getting any button stick, which comes and goes on most knives. Of course, I haven't pulled this one apart so I can create troubles for myself yet. And it's got jimping up here, and it's got a go forward area here. It's comfortable from an ergonomic standpoint, but you know, it's really light too. Let's put it on the scale. But is that, I mean, just look at it. I mean, and then I like this too. I like this busy work G10. You know, it kind of livens it up. What was I trying to do here? Let's get it on the right. Okay, so 75 grams. That's not very heavy, is it? What is that equate to? Is that under 3? Yeah, 2.6. Okay. Well, then there's a reason, isn't it? Here's why it feels light. Breaking news. It's 2.6 ounces. Wow. I'll bet that blade stock is well under 3 millimeter too. What do you want to bet? Yeah, it is 2.5. 0.09. Let me see. Overall thickness 0.41 at 10.6 millimeters. So it's slender blade stock, nice and slicey, and you know you get good contact because you don't have a flipper. You know, so good contact patch there. Of course, very corrosion resistant because you got a lot of chromium in the steel. So you could use this actually food prep, vegetables, whatever, you know. You don't have to worry so much about corrosion. And these, the detent is where it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? This is just right. And it is very fidget friendly. You know what I'm saying? Very fidget friendly. But the ergos are really nice. And it's a big enough knife because it's not just a little 2.7 inch, you know, and 6.5 overall. It's big enough, being the size it is, that your fingers all fit on here. And it's, yeah, reverse. And yeah, can feel my balance point real easy here. And you've got these liners, and they're not nested, right? They're solid and they're decent, okay? So it feels pretty structurally sound, not like the original Bug Out. When that came out, it was just like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. But this is not that, okay? So typical, you know, plunger with the spring underneath it, blah, blah, blah. Ceramic bearings, ARRPM 9 blade. But super lightweight and fidget friendly. And you know, what are the knives doing these days, folks? I mean, $59 minus what, about $6, because that's 10% discount. So you're at the low 50s. That's where knives used to be. Remember that? Back about 2016, that kind of thing. But they've crept up. And so many now are hitting $75 to even $100. So to have this in the low 50s delivered, no tax, no shipping cost, yeah, I like it. I probably should have got 2 of them. But you know what? I mean, there's no reason why. And you wouldn't just pick this up without a thought and carry it because it's so inexpensive. But it looks cool. I mean, it's got looks, and it's got a nice flow and design. It's very pleasing. I'm not having any junk going on here. It's centered up. It's not playing. No issues. I have no detent play here at all. Deep carry pocket clip, flat screws. I like the pocket clip design. It's okay. It's working. Standoffs here, right? And they look pretty stout for his, I mean, a 2.6 ounce knife, and you can go left hand with it. Plus you have a hole for the lanyard. So you can put a little lanyard on there if you want. Where am I going to fault this? You know, because there's a lot of button lock knives out there that are running 75, like I was saying, 75 plus. And this, yeah, I don't know. Maybe the reason I hadn't jumped on a lot of CJRB knives because I just hadn't, you know, the Mylea was nice, Swag's design, but, you know, since then, really not a lot has turned my head, but this is cool. And, well, what's this? This is the Logo. I just got this in. I got this from White Mountain, too. This is very inexpensive as well, okay? This is AR RPM 9, and this is the 1926. This is the 1925, 1926 model. Button lock, bigger knife. Bigger knife. This is full size. This is 3.5, basically a 3.5-inch blade, blah, 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 okay? But and that struck my fancy too, because the cutout, finger flickable, button lock, it's a flipper button lock, okay? So talk about all kinds of fun and fidget friendliness here as well. Whoops, kick it out. There's just so many ways to attack it. You just confuse yourself, that's all. But yeah, so I'm gonna do a video on this one too, because I think it deserves its own. Nice G10, love grippy G10. Got a bit of micarta burnout here going. So no, I'm good to get back with the G10, and they're doing some cool stuff with G10, aren't they? You know what I'm saying? They really are. So let's see if we can get hurt on this, and I don't know which way I'm supposed to come. If it don't start unscrewing real easy, I'll back off and try the other side, and for good reason, right? For good reason. And there this comes out, and these are little number 6s, and you know, I guess you kind of got to give it a pass because it isn't very expensive knife, so. But number 8 body screws would be just an extra plus, wouldn't they? And you know, I'm saying that all the time. Every time I take a knife apart that doesn't have number 8 body screws, and I'm going to give the little clincher there. But will this come apart? Very easy. And we guess we're going to find out. There's this. So we've got the presentation side scale, and let's look inside and see if we have another screw that we've got to deal with, and I don't see one particularly, so okay, and there isn't one. Okay, so we've skeletonized, huh? And then we do have a captured pivot because we had a squared off area here, right? And so this thing was not going to turn from the back, and I just popped something. Oh, I popped the spring. I popped the spring in the deal right on the floor. Are we refocused? There's our spring button. Of course, they went hopping. Put them in their own little container there. See, you got my mat set up here. You're not going anywhere now, damn it. You're confined to quarters. And, yeah, we're good. Yeah, you can see squared off here. So yeah, it's captured pivot. And then we've got ceramic bearings on both sides, folks. So AR RPM 9, powder metallurgy steel. Everything's skeletonized here. Interesting G10, lightweight. It's all good. And you get a big fancy box. How did that happen? How come I got a box like this for a $50 shooter? How does, I mean, I couldn't figure that out. So I know it's an exclusive, but wow, that's really odd, isn't it? No, but there was no microfiber cloth or anything, but still got the big old zipper pouch and the hard box and everything. Not like the normal CJRB boxes, right? Right? That they used to be. Maybe they've changed that, because that's what they used to put their upscale stuff in. Artisan, you know? Oh well. It's good to be good. Good to get the extras too. I like it. The Pyrite, don't you? It's interesting. Take a look and, you know, check it out if you're looking for it in maybe a fat carbon or upgraded steel. It may be out there. I mean, I think I caught something the other day on that. So, yes, just remember, it's love them knives. And you guys, stay sharp.